Hey guys, so continuing with our theme of like meal prepping and planning and how we can use that to like help us with our budget when we're trying to be healthy as well as trying to like save us time and energy. But staying on track with our food because a lot of times the reason we fall off track with our food is just simply because we didn't plan well, or maybe we got stuck in a situation where we um, we just got too hungry, or we just thought it was going to be too much work. So, we had previously talked about how to sit down and do a simple meal plan, picking two meals for breakfast and two different meals for lunch and flip flopping them, picking 2 to 3 meals for dinner and flip flopping them throughout the week. But how does that really work? Do you like make each meal separately? Do you batch cook it? What is this batch cooking word? So I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on that. Obviously, for breakfast, it's definitely easy just to make it that day. There are some breakfast things you can totally prep ahead of time if you like need to get out the door in the morning. But say you're having like eggs and oatmeal, pretty quick to make in the morning. And again, a lot of times we use egg and oatmeal or eggs and Ezekiel bread or something like that in the morning. Um, for lunch, I would say, like with your pick two plan, prepping it is absolutely probably the easiest way to do that. And what do I mean by that is, say, for instance, this week, Jordan, one of his 2 meals for the week was taco salad, and he just really likes taco salad. So, how would we make that so that I didn't have to make it every single morning before he went to work or even the night before? What I would do is we buy all of our ground turkey and our packages of boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and we get them in large quantities. It's cheaper that way, and I'm able to just prepare all at once and have what I need for the next, 3 to 4 or 5 days. Um, so I recommend like if you're like, oh, I don't like to eat the same thing, you can still do this, and this is still easy for you. Like for taco salads, it was ground turkey. You can use half of the package of ground turkey and make it into ground taco meat for your taco salads, and you can use the other half for turkey burgers or another recipe. But you would make that quantity. You wouldn't make enough just for 1 meal. You would make enough for 3 meals. And then the same thing for the salad part. If you take out all of your vegetables that you like for your salad, you would chop those up. We use mason jars for our salads. It seems to keep them pretty, fresh the longest. So you would chop up your veggies for that, fill them in the mason jar. There's a ton of stuff on Pinterest on the best ways to pack them so that you get the most fresh salad. And then just add your container of, your protein on top of that. And you can make enough for 3 or 4 meals, or like for us, because if we meal prep for like for both of us, even if we only have taco salad twice that week, we need 4 sets of everything. And you're able to do that, and you're like, man, that's a lot. Like maybe it's a lot in your fridge. Maybe like you think, well, I don't want to put everything in the same containers that day. You can still batch cook it, which means that you're still making that mass quantity, and then you're putting the different items in larger containers. So you would cook up all of your taco meat, put it in a big container, put it in the fridge, and then as you need it, you measure it out in your red container and then add it to your meal. That's absolutely an option. The same thing for the chicken breast. So I would make, these full meals throughout, like in one day. I might take an hour or two and just like cook a bunch of things, and then I have them in the fridge. If you currently have a Beachbody On Demand subscription, I highly recommend that you go in and look at the Fixate Cooking Show. Autumn Calabrese will show you 2 different ways to meal prep, and one is the batch cooking way, and then one is like individually buy meals. And different people like different styles, and that's totally okay. The biggest thing to remember is to be prepared, which does take a little bit of prep and planning in the beginning, but it will save you a ton of time and effort during the week. So you aren't cooking every single night. You are cooking 1 time or 2 times during the week, and then you have it packed and ready to go for the rest of the week. There are lots of things that you can prep. Fruit is a big deal that you can prep. If you do grapes, you wash them, you dry them really well, and they fit great in a mason jar. Pineapple is the same way. You can do that. You can cut up a pineapple, put it in a mason jar, and when it's accessible and ready to go, when you don't have to wash it, when you can legitimately just grab it out of the container or grab it the container and take it with you, it definitely helps you stay on track. You don't have to think about it. So it just kind of takes some of those challenges out of it. So I highly recommend when you sit down and make your meals for the week, think about, okay, like how can I make this as simple as possible and cook one time and clean up one time for the next 3 days. And then that will really, once you start kind of figuring that out and how to do all of that, it's definitely something that will help you stay on track because your meals are already done. They're already there for you. You just have to follow the plan. And that comes into like a different mental battle, but you have to, if you set out this plan, you shop for this plan, this is the food you have in front of you, you've put the time and the effort into it, literally at that point all you have to do is eat the food. So I hope that explains a little bit about what batch cooking is. Like I said, if you have Beachbody On Demand, I highly recommend going in, watching the Fixate shows where it says about meal prep, and it will be under Fixate. And Autumn Calabrese shows you the 2 different ways to do that. Very, very good information, short videos, but she gives a visual example. So definitely click like when you've watched this video, and then let us know in the comments one thing that you think that you would be able to batch prep so that you would have enough for the next at least 3 days. And that could be, chopped up veggies or washing and making sure all of your fruit is good to go. It could be cooking all of your protein. The other thing that we do is we steam vegetables. If you don't have a Pampered Chef steamer, that is what I use a ton. And you can get frozen vegetables at the store and use that to steam them. And it works for fresh too. But definitely a great tool to have. You can steam a lot at once and then be able to put it into those serving containers and you're good to go. So those are definitely some quick tricks. Protein, veggies, and Trader Joe's has an awesome steamable rice bag. So brown rice, very good, and you have pretty much protein, veggie, carb, and you can just throw them all together once it's prepped for your week. So definitely worth it to take a little extra time and do that. I hope this video was helpful, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact us.